entirely different personalities, yet their friendship was unbreakable. Jake, with his constant whirlwind of thoughts and passionate love for art, always found ways to bring joy to those around him. Liam, on the other hand, was cautious and rational. He found solace in music and never rushed into decisions. Both of them grew up in the shadow of the mysterious circus that visited the town only once every few decades. From childhood, they were told mystical stories about the circus, filled with enigmas and horrors. However, the friends had never seen it with their own eyes. And then, as if fate commanded it, the circus appeared in Sandaria once again. Bathed in moonlight and twinkling lights, it stood in all its dark beauty on the deserted clearing. Jake and Liam decided to confront their fears and venture inside the circus to unveil its secrets. From that moment on, their captivating and perilous adventure began, leading them to the ancient rituals, the magic of performers, and the unfathomed forces of darkness. They had to face their inner demons, unravel riddles, and seek the truth that could save their town from the dark forces. Their joint journey would open doors to a world they had never dreamed of before, a world of magic and fear, a world where light and darkness entwined in a single dance, and every decision came with a price. Symbols embroidered in golden threads on dark tint fabrics seemed to radiate an unknown magic. The townspeople feverishly attempted to decipher their meanings, but it seemed that the symbols changed shape for each, as if alive. Passing through the circus gates, Jake and Liam entered an atmosphere they had only heard of in terrifying stories and legends. Behind the scenes, where dazzling acts succeeded one another, they discovered numerous corridors and rooms that seemed like parallel worlds. Tents and pavilions transformed into a labyrinth, where every corner could harbor its own enigma. Their encounter with a mysterious woman with golden hair, the star performer, seemed both coincidental and pre-planned. Her gaze was remarkably insightful, as if she saw something greater in them than just two ordinary guys from town. With every word, every invitation to a performance, she seemed to beckon them into a world brimming with dangers and puzzles. As they took their seats in the front row, the arena before them unveiled its magnificent secrets. Tricks and acrobatics were just the beginning. The circus artists manipulated fire and water, crafting images that appeared alive and breathing. The stage was shrouded in an aura of mystery, as if the performers were able to interact with the essence of magic itself. But everything changed when a woman with long, dark hair stepped onto the stage. Her presence exuded both terror and a magnetic allure. Her voice began to sound like an enchanting melody, and she moved as if floating on waves of air. Hypnotic sounds and movements plunged the audience into a state as if they were captives of their own dreams. In that moment, Jake and Liam realized that this circus was not merely entertainment, but a path to the unknown. Every act, every song, every movement of the performers seemed significant, like a key to unlocking a grand mystery. A desire to learn more, to unveil the secrecy, and to penetrate the hidden paths of the circus consumed the friends, despite their awareness that this might be their last chance. When the final chords resonated and the arena was once again engulfed in applause, Jake and Liam felt that this circus concealed far more than magical acts and artificial smiles. Their attention was fixed on the woman with long, dark hair, who had never left the stage. Suddenly, the lights around the arena dimmed, and the center of the stage illuminated only her, as if she were the center of the entire world. Her voice turned into a whisper that crept into Jake and Liam's ears like a dark call from the depths of the past. She began to recount how many years ago the circus had been a place of great magical power. But dark forces within it awakened and drew the performers and the audience into a world of darkness. She called herself the Dark Mistress, the chief performer of this magic. The words of the Dark Mistress were spoken like an incantation, and Jake and Liam felt something dark and cold beginning to grip their hearts. They understood that she was trying to lead them down a path opposite to all the goodness they knew. She offered them alliance, promising magical power and authority. But behind these promises lurked sinister tricks and hidden motives. Her eyes gleamed in the darkness, as if they were a portal to the world of darkness itself. Jake and Liam felt a struggle unfolding within their souls between the temptation of magical power and the belief in goodness. They knew that their choice would determine their own fate and the fate of the circus. Through the dark mistress's dark summons, they saw the glimmer of light, their friendship and belief in goodness. They were faced with a decision that would change them and the circus's destiny forever. An abrupt wind brought an element of surprise. Amidst the gusts of wind, an unseen choir-like voice emerged, whispering verses in incomprehensible languages. Townspeople turned around. Their hearts skipped a beat, and then the voice disappeared as if it had never been there. After a moment of silence, the tents slowly began to vanish into the darkness of the night. They appeared like a nightmare that always dissipated in the daylight. Darkness enshrouded the town, and its inhabitants felt that ahead of them lay events, something more profound. With eyes full of astonishment and puzzlement, the townspeople left for home. They felt the influence of what they had seen, as if the circus had left a part of its mystery within them. The night brought no tranquility. Many townspeople began to dream, in which the circus symbols pursued them, bending and changing their forms like living creatures. In the night sky above the town, a diamond-black sky appeared, upon which the circus symbols began to shimmer in gold. The town's residents observed this phenomenon with amazement and skepticism, realizing that something unusual was happening. As the townspeople went to sleep, they felt a strange attraction to the symbols awakening within them. It seemed that behind the door of the world they had never dared to open lay something far more mysterious and dreadful. The townspeople gathered beneath the tents with the first signs of sunset, watching as the evening sun dipped below the horizon, leaving behind the dark silhouettes of the darkness and shadow circus tents. The townspeople sensed that secrets and hidden forces lay within this place. The tents rose into the air like waves of the sea, leaving only the black arcanum silhouettes against the backdrop of the setting sun. Bright lights scattered around the edges of the arena looked like stars scattered on the ground. To the hypnotic music, artists dressed in black costumes arranged themselves before enormous mirrors that magnified the scale of their figures. The reflections of the performers began to dance, as if coming to life. Spectators observed as shadows and reflections merged together, creating an effect of magic and unreality. It seemed that the performers were controlling their reflections like spirits, adding an even greater sense of mystery to the performance. A solitary artist appeared in the arena, their figures sharply contrasting with the background. They began their act, and suddenly, with a deafening noise and a starry shimmer, they disappeared before the eyes of the audience. The crowd was left in a state of awe and only realized a moment later that the artist was gone. It was a moment of terror and captivation, leaving the spectators in bewilderment, their hearts pounding in anticipation. Jugglers emerged onto the stage, curling fiery torches into the air. The fire, like a living entity, danced to the rhythm of the music, leaving behind traces of light and shadow. The torches flew through the air with precision, smoothly passing between one another, and every movement was perfectly synchronized. The artists seemed to dance with fire, creating a magical atmosphere full of danger and awe. Amidst a veil of smoke, Morgan emerges, her figure surrounded by a violet halo. The woman's eyes sparkle like precious gems, and her gaze penetrates the souls of the spectators. Morgan begins to utter words as if she's enchanting, her words carrying warnings and predictions, as if revealing the hidden thoughts and desires of the viewers. Onto the arena strides a group of gymnasts, their movements commencing as if merging with the air. They leap and flip from trapeze to trapeze, their bodies contorting in otherworldly bends and motions. One of the gymnasts begins to breathe fire, creating fiery exhalations in the air, as if the embodiment of passion itself. The performance concludes, and the artists direct their intense gazes toward the audience. These gazes seem impenetrable, as if they are trying to delve into the very depths of their souls. People seated on the deck feel something stirring within them, as if the magical energy of the artists is infiltrating their beings. After the performance, Morgan approaches Jake. She smiles, her eyes sparkling like precious gems. Her voice resonates like a melody, and her words seem to resonate in harmony with Jake's heart. Each of us seeks something greater, don't we? Her words penetrate his soul, as if hinting that she knows his inner desires. As if in response to Morgan's words, the circus symbols start to shimmer in Jake's eyes, and he begins to see them even on the surface of the arena. He delves into the depths of these symbols, and in his dreams, they transform into intricate landscapes and patterns. The dreams become increasingly lifelike, as if he's becoming a part of this enigmatic magic. With each passing minute, Jake feels he's getting closer to something much greater. The circus symbols arranged on the deck and around the arena seem to be transmitting their magical energy to him. He sees them as a bridge to a world of secrets and magic, hidden behind the show's facade. Morgan continues to persuade Jake, succumbing to his inner desires. She tells him about ancient rituals tied to the circus symbols and how he can achieve unprecedented power and magic if he masters this ancient magical connection. Under Morgan's influence, Jake begins to sense a supernatural attraction to the circus and its performers. It's as if he's drawn not only to the performances but also to the very atmosphere of mystery and magic that envelopes the place. Jake starts having dreams filled with circus symbols, performers, and shadows. The dreams become increasingly eerie and realistic, as if he's immersing himself in a parallel world ruled by darkness and magic. He feels that his mind and soul are ensnared by these dreams. Liam notices that Jake is changing. He becomes withdrawn, his gaze distant, and his behavior unpredictable. Liam begins to suspect that something dark and dangerous lies behind these changes. Jake starts to study the symbols and magical artifacts that surround the circus. He notices that with each passing day, his understanding of magic grows deeper, but at the same time, he loses control over himself. His hands begin to emit a mysterious violet light, and he senses that his life and future are teetering on the edge of darkness. In moments of solitude, Jake begins to recall the dark moments of his past that he tried to forget. Fears he suppressed within himself start resurfacing, as if coming to life under the influence of the circus's secret magic. Liam encounters the changes in Jake and starts to worry about his friend. He attempts to unravel the mystery that has taken hold of Jake, but the rift in their friendship becomes increasingly palpable. Liam realizes that he must uncover the truth before the dark forces fully consume Jake. The circus continues its performances, and to the spectators, it seems that the show is becoming increasingly eerie and atmospheric. All the acts are infused with magic and mystique, as if the performers and the audience have entered a world ruled by secret forces. Jake starts to realize that the magic he acquired comes at a price. Each interaction with the symbols and the secretive magic of the circus leaves a mark on his soul and mind. He senses how he's losing his identity and becoming a part of the dark magic that surrounds him. Liam decides to explore the secrets of the circus alongside Jake. They begin to delve into the history of the circus, its performers, and its symbols. Liam understands that only by deciphering the circus's enigma can they rescue Jake from the clutches of darkness and save him from the danger that threatens the entire city. After the conclusion of the show, Jake and Liam decide to explore the dark corridors leading underground. The first few steps they take are cautious, feeling the cold emanating from the darkness ahead. The corridor walls are adorned with mysterious symbols, creating an eerie atmosphere of foreboding. As they proceed, the quiet whispers around them grow stronger. The whispers are like spectral voices, conversing amongst themselves. Jake and Liam feel fear beginning to grip them, as if shadows are trying to infiltrate their minds. Venturing further, they discover a room with an altar at its center. The altar looks ancient and worn, but fresh traces of sacrifices are visible on its surface. Artifacts filled with magical energy are placed around the altar. Near the altar, Liam finds an old book covered in dust and weathered by time. The pages of the book are filled with strange drawings, incantations, and rituals. They describe magical actions that seemingly could have been used by the circus performers for their unusual acts. As Jake and Liam begin to study the book, an elderly figure emerges from the shadows. His eyes shine with wisdom, and his appearance seems shrouded in mystery. He introduces himself as the guardian of secrets, who has watched over the circus for many years. The elder starts to unveil the circus's secret. He tells them that the circus was created by the Order of Darkness, an ancient society that sought immortality and unparalleled power through magic and sacrifices. The circus performers were members of this society, serving its dark purposes. The elder explains that Morgana was the chosen one of the Order of Darkness. Her task was to infiltrate the circus and harness its magical power for her own sinister aims. Her influence grew stronger as she began to interact with the shadows imbued with the Order's magic. Over time, Morgana devised a sinister plan. She gathered the energy of fear and admiration from the spectators to perform a grand ritual that would amplify her power and grant her full control over the city. The circus became her means to achieve this goal. Understanding the gravity of the situation, Jake and Liam decide that they need help. They realize that the circus performers, even if they were members of the Order of Darkness, have also become victims of this dark power. They resolve to find a way to unite the performers to stand against Morgana and thwart her plans. Jake and Liam spend time trying to find a way to sever the connection between Morgana and the shadows. During their research, Liam accidentally performs a ritual that awakens the spirits of former circus performers. These spirits are bound to the circus's magical power and share their stories and fears with Jake and Liam. Jake and Liam decide to gather the circus performers and reveal the truth about Morgana and the Order of Darkness. The performers are initially skeptical, but when they see the symbols and magical artifacts, they realize that Jake and Liam's accounts are credible. As they come together, the performers begin devising a resistance plan. They understand that Morgana uses the fear and admiration of the spectators as a source of power. The plan involves disrupting Morgana's ritual to deprive her of this magical energy. In their research, Jake and Liam discover records of ancient sacrifices committed by the Order of Darkness. They realize that Morgana plans to use the spectators as living sacrifices in her ritual to amplify her magical power. As they prepare for the battle, the performers confront their own internal fears and doubts. They realize that to defeat Morgana, they must confront their own dark sides and find strength within themselves. When Jake and the performers attempt to breach the arena, they are ambushed. Shadows conjured by Morgana attack them, trying to halt their progress toward the altar. A confrontation ensues, during which the performers utilize their skills and magic to resist the darkness. Jake and Liam infiltrate the arena, where Morgana is preparing for the ritual. They witness her manipulating the shadows and harnessing the spectators' energy. Through sinister rituals and spells, she attempts to unite the forces of shadows and fear into a single magical energy. The spirits of the awakened performers engage in battle with the shadows, creating a magical confrontation. Jake and Liam join the fight, using their knowledge and skills. The clash becomes a storm of magical energy that envelopes the arena. Jake and Morgana engage in a final confrontation. They battle with magic and spells, employing all their strength. Morgana tries to use Jake's fears and admiration to her advantage, but he starts overcoming his inner fears. With the help of the spirits of the performers and his own magic, Jake weakens Morgana's connection to the shadows and disrupts her ritual. The darkness begins to dissipate, and the performers sustain the struggle against the remnants of the magical energy. With the ritual disrupted, the circus begins to crumble, and Morgana loses her magical power. The shadows vanish, and the place where the arena once stood is filled with light and hope. The city's inhabitants, who were under Morgana's influence, start to regain their senses, and the circus regains its normal form. Jake and Liam receive a message from a mysterious source. The letter speaks of a power capable of defeating Morgana and reveals that the source of this power lies within the heart of the circus. Jake and Liam embark on an investigation to uncover the hidden knowledge that could truly overcome the dark forces. In order to understand how to defeat Morgana, Jake and Liam delve into the history of the Order of Darkness. They uncover chilling details about ancient rituals and sacrifices performed by the Order. Gradually, a picture of the dark history intertwined with the circus emerges. During their research, Jake and Liam start encountering the ghosts of circus performers who died decades ago. These spirits share their stories, fears, and moments linked to Morgana's dark magic. Jake and Liam realize that their fate is closely tied to the fate of the performers of the past. In their quest, Jake and Liam find an ancient text describing a method to vanquish Morgana. They understand that to triumph over the dark forces, they must unite the magic of the performers and the spirits of the past. The key to victory lies in restoring the balance between light and darkness. Jake and Liam face trials that test their faith in their mission. They experience doubts and fears, but within their hearts, the conviction of their chosen path burns bright. They realize that only strong belief in their abilities and purpose can help them stand against Morgana. In the course of their research, Jake and Liam encounter moral dilemmas. They understand that to defeat Morgana, they'll have to make difficult decisions that could impact the lives of the circus performers and the townspeople. The question becomes how far they are willing to compromise for the greater good. Jake and Liam realize that to unite the magic of the performers and the spirits of the past, they will have to pay a high price. It's not just power, it becomes a part of their essence, and they understand that they will never be the same again. This decision becomes their final step toward victory over the dark forces. As they draw closer to the truth, Jake and Liam confront their own inner demons and fears. They are forced to face aspects of their personalities they have long concealed, even from themselves. This battle with inner darkness becomes an integral part of their preparation for the ultimate showdown. Jake and Liam decide to accompany the circus performers to the next performance, intending to confront Morgana face to face. They realize this is their last chance to get answers and gather all the information they need for their mission. The meeting promises to be dangerous and tense, but they are willing to stake everything to achieve their goal. Jake and Liam recognize that they are on the right path and that their efforts are yielding results. Their belief in their mission and in goodness begins to grow, and they realize that even in a world of darkness, there is room for light. Their journey to the truth becomes increasingly defined, and they are ready to battle the dark forces to save their city and everyone they love. Jake and Liam learn that true magic has no connection to the dark art that Morgana possesses. They manage to uncover the secret of ancient mysteries linked to the creators of the circus and its original purpose. They realize that true magic is not about destruction, but about creation and inspiration. Jake and Liam begin to teach the circus performers how to harness their magic for good purposes. They help each performer unlock their inner potential and overcome their fears. The circus starts to transform, performances become more vibrant and inspiring, and the audience feels genuine magic in every act. Jake and Liam prepare for the final battle with Morgana. They understand that a magic tool awaits them, one that will determine the fate of the city and the circus. They learn to control their powers and maximize the magic they have gathered around them. Before the final battle, Jake and Liam spend time in contemplation. They undergo an internal journey, connecting with their roots, values, and their own magic. This period allows them to grow stronger and more confident, ready for what lies ahead. Jake and Liam conduct a final training session with the circus performers, preparing them for the showdown with Morgana. The performers have mastered new ways to wield their magic and are now prepared to enter this perilous confrontation. It's time to put their skills and self-belief to the test. The circus performance becomes the true grand finale, where each act is a step toward victory over darkness. Performers execute their tricks with unprecedented strength and confidence, as if true magic courses through their veins. The audience senses that this battle will be decided not only by strength but also by artistry. The long-awaited moment arrives as Jake and Liam face Morgana face to face. The clash begins, and spectators witness streams of light and darkness locked in combat. It's a battle that will decide the fate of the city and the circus, showing which magic is stronger, dark or light. Under the influence of Morgana's dark forces, Jake and Liam experience internal conflict. They must confront their own fears and weaknesses, which could become barriers on the path to victory. They need to find strength within themselves to overcome the dark influences and return to their purpose. During the battle, Jake and Liam realize that to defeat Morgana, they must make a sacrifice. They risk everything to save the city and the circus performers. This moment becomes their toughest trial, and they understand that real magic is not just about power, but also about the willingness to sacrifice for the greater good. Morgana is defeated, and the dark magic of her power vanishes from the circus world. The city recovers from the events, and the circus performers return to their everyday lives, but not the same as before. Jake and Liam look upon the past events with a sense of pride and satisfaction, knowing they managed to save the city and the circus from the forces of darkness. The city embarks on a new chapter of its history, and the circus continues its performances. However, it has now become a symbol not only of entertainment but also of the strength of goodness. The performers become inspirations to others, demonstrating that art can be a means of transformation and triumph over dark forces. The spirits of the past circus performers find their way into the afterlife, liberated from their eternal ties to dark forces. They express gratitude to Jake and Liam for their assistance and belief in their salvation. Their souls find peace, knowing they were able to correct their mistakes and help save the circus. Jake and Liam break free from the dark magic that had been pulling them inward. Their powers wane, but they realize that true magic has always been within them in their faith, friendship, and love. They begin a new chapter in their lives, understanding they've overcome their inner shadows and managed to preserve their true essence. Jake and Liam become close friends who have endured numerous trials together. Their bond becomes stronger than ever, and they know they will always support each other, no matter what challenges lie ahead. The city starts to recover from the impact of dark magic, and its inhabitants begin to shed their fears and doubts. They witness how the circus performers, along with Jake and Liam, overcame their fears and achieved victory, inspiring them to do the same. The circus transforms into a hub of art and inspiration, where performers share their stories and magic with anyone eager to learn more. People start to see that art can change the world, and magic is not just dark forces but also a capability for transformation and creation. The circus becomes a symbol of triumph over darkness, and its performances attract thousands of spectators seeking inspiration and magic. The performers continue to show that art can make the world brighter, and magic can serve as a means of unity and understanding. The circus performers and the city's residents express gratitude to Jake and Liam for their belief in goodness, the power within each person, and the ability to overcome any challenges. Jake and Liam become heroes who demonstrated that true magic is the ability of each individual to make the world better. The story of the city and the circus continues, now filled with hope and faith in the future. Jake and Liam embark on new stages of their lives, but they know they will always remain connected to the circus and its performers. Their experience and story become a source of inspiration for everyone who encounters it. The tale of the horror circus and its heroes, Jake and Liam, becomes part of immortal art. It is passed down through generations, inspiring people to believe in themselves, overcome dark forces, and create their own magic. Thus, the story continues, bearing witness that goodness always triumphs.